Hey everybody, it's Mike from Fishing the Mid-South, and today we are going to work on part 2 of building the perfect pompano rig. And we're going to go over some hooks today. We're going to test those with Suffix 40-pound monofilament line. I realize that we're talking about using 20-pound for the pompano rigs. The reason I'm testing with 40-pound is because I'm wanting to see how far we can take the hooks. So the first hook that we're going to start off with is going to be the Offshore Angler Circle Wide Gap in size 1/0. These are an offset point hook. They have a round bend to them and they have kind of a short shank. These are available at Bass Pro Shops. So we're getting the rig set up here. Kind of getting the point in the right spot and everything. And we're going to start pulling on it. So we start bending around 5 pounds on this. We get to 7.5 and there's a decent amount of bend there. We'll try giving it a little bit more, see how far we can go. Getting a little bit more bend there. At this point, it's not too straight that I think the fish would get off. And the other thing that you need to understand is, where mono is going to have a breaking point when a fish just takes a quick run, that's not really going to happen with the hook. The hook is going to come in and go out and come in and go out. And this one makes it up to about 15 pounds before the line breaks. And actually, at that point, it shows like, I think 14.5 on there. The hook was, the fish was gone anyway. So we'll call that one about 15 pounds. And that is, again, the Offshore Angler Circle Wide Gap hook. So get everything set up for the next one. I apologize, my audio didn't go through the first time, so I'm doing a voiceover here. And this hook is also going to be from Offshore Angler. So Offshore Angler is available at Bass Pro Shops. These are the inline light wire circle hooks in size 1/0. These are going to be, of course, an inline shank, or inline point, I should say. These are going to have a little bit longer shank than the circle wide gaps, though not very much. Actually, they're very similar. It does have a smaller gap in the hook, though. So even though they're both 1/0, that's kind of a difference there. And again, the Offshore Angler is available at Bass Pro Shops. So you can see we start getting a bend. Most of these around 5 pounds. This one at 16.7, it's done for. The fish is gone. So there's really no point in going any further than that. When the hook straightens out that much, the fish is already waving goodbye and running away from you. Now, these are one of the favorites of a lot of people. These are the Owner Mutu Light circle hooks in size 1/0. Now, these have more of a kale style bend to them. And you will see here shortly that works in its favor for the strength. Now, these are going to have a longer shank than either the Offshore Angler hooks, and maybe just a hair bigger, actually, even though they're still size 1/0. These have the super needle point, and again, they have an offset point, which doesn't really matter for pompano, but in Florida, but some of the reef species you can't use offset point hooks. So we'll get this one set up in here. And away we go. So again, around 5 pounds, we're seeing the start of a bend, right? 10 pounds, it's still doing pretty good, actually. 12, still fairly good. There's a significant bend at 16 pounds, but I think the fish is still going to be on that hook. So take it up to about 20, by 25, that fish is gone. So I mean, it showed very well on that. Again, we got it up to about 25 pounds of force before the fish would definitely be gone from there. So the Mutu Light Circle hook from owner is a very good hook. Did well in these tests. I was quite happy with the results. Now we're going to move up to the Mustad. These are the Demon Perfect Circle inline hooks in size 1/0. Now these are going to be more of a round bend as opposed to the kale bend that the Mutu Lights had. They also have a short shank and a fairly decent sized gap between the shank and the point itself. As you know, Mustad has is a good brand of hooks. They're known for being a good quality hook, as are the owners. So the Mustads are good hooks. Here I'm going to show you kind of comparing the Mutu Light to the Mustad as far as the shape and the size and such. So you see the difference there with the round bend versus that kale style. And that kale style hook, the way that at least the testing hook attaches to that, it seems to hold it in place very well. So we'll get this one on the tester here and give it a pull and see what happens. And zero it out there, showing that there is no pressure on the line. And again, we get up to about almost 5 pounds, and there's a little bit of bend there. We're up to 15 now, and we're pretty much, the hook's straight enough that I think the fish is gone at this point. So, not a bad showing for the hook at 15 pounds of strength before it gave up enough that I think the fish was going to go for its own little ride. And now we're going to get into the 2/0 hooks. So we've got two different brands of these 2/0 hooks. So these are the H2OX circle hooks. Again, this is going to be a very round bend, shaped very similar to the offshore angler. These are actually inline hooks, so they're similar in I guess appearance to the offshore angler inline light wire circles. Of course, they're larger, these being a 2/0 versus a 1/0, and they do have a little bit of a longer shank. So as we start off with this, you can see we get up to about 24 pounds before it finally, is straightened out enough that the fish is going to be gone. But these are they're a larger hook, and you may want to go to a size 2/0. You may not. That's kind of up to you. They did have a good performance. Everything seemed to start to bend around 5 to 7 pounds as far as the starting to bend. Before we lose them, that's a whole other issue. Now we're looking at the Laser Sharp Eagle Claws. These are the 2/0 in the L197BKU. These are the Circle C hooks, and these are inline hooks, if memory serves. Yes, they are inline hooks. Get everything set up here and zero it out, and off we go to the races, sort of. Didn't say it was a fast race. We're just kind of getting all that slack out of there. Around 5 pounds again, it starts showing a bend, showing some flex, I should say. 11.6, still doing okay. It's got I guess a little bit more bend than than maybe some of the other hooks have at that point. And then when we get up to 16, it's pretty much done for. it's straightened out to the point that, I think we're, went up a little bit higher to 17.9, but at that point, the fish is gone. So when we compare it to the strength that we had with our different, like the quadruple surgeon's knot, where we did the surgeon's loop and we went through it 4 times, we were averaging just under 20 pounds of strength on those between the 5 tests, a low of 17.9 and a high of 21.4. And the Owner Mutu Light Circle Hook actually seemed to be the winner in this. You could also go with the H2OX, the 2/0 circle hook, if you want an inline hook versus a offset point, and if you wanted to go with the round bend versus the more Kale style bend. So either one of those I think will do good here. The Owner hooks in this 40 pack, they were a little over 50 cents a piece. The H2OX, say 15 hooks for about $6 on those. So doing the math, I don't know, about 40 cents a piece, maybe. I don't know. Math's hard. You know how that goes. So in part 3, we're going to try to put this all together, or at least start putting it together with the line and the terminal tackle and the hooks, and do the testing of the rigs as best we can on those. So please make sure that you like and subscribe and all that fun stuff that makes YouTube happy. I appreciate each and every one of you watching, and we will see you guys on the next video. Thanks again.